one of the most difficult jobs in Nigeria or in the world today is speaking for or trying to defend the APC federal government.
So guys, it's very, very, very hard to defend APC government, because if you take a look at all of them that have come out to defend the APC government, they are either stammering or they are even saying out of point. This man you're about to watch now was talking totally out of point. He could not even make a very comprehensive sentence that you can understand, because he does not know what he's saying. He cannot lie. He have covered to the extent that he doesn't know what again to say. You'll be shocked to hear how this man disgraced the whole APC. Because if you are doing the right thing, it's very easy to defend so that you're doing the right thing than so that you're doing the bad thing. Because it's very easy to defend P2B, but it's very hard to defend Tinubu. Just take a relative perspective, guys, in a minute.
And good to see you, Peter. So let me start with you, Ali. Balancing order and rights. The challenge has become a hub. This hashtag 30 days run challenge has become a hub for youth activism. What is the government's stand on the safety of vocal citizens amid fear of surveillance and intimidation? Also, do you believe the government has done enough to engage with the concerns of young Nigerians, especially as they continue to voice their frustrations online?
All right. Good morning.
Morning.
I don't know if you want to take that again. At some point, it wasn't really clear, so I couldn't make.
Okay. So let's just say that, like I said, the challenge has become a hub for youth activism. Everybody's online now, voicing their frustrations and what have you. But what is the government's stance on the safety of vocal citizens, and especially when it comes to fears of backlash and intimidation? And also, do you believe the government has done enough to engage with the concerns of young Nigerians, especially as they continue to voice these frustrations online? What is the government doing to bridge the gap?
All right. Definitely, the government hasn't done enough, and I mean, as little as has been done, a lot more is needed to be done, and we are very hopeful, because we are in a government led by someone who believes in, speaking up, and he believes in changing a situation that it's not favorable or bearable to the majority of the populace. He's been about that, and he hasn't changed, and he's not going to change now that he's the president. On the part of guaranteeing the safety of people who speak up, yes, he's very, very strong on that. I mean, there is no, or there are only a few persons you can point to in modern day Africa as Democrats, ahead of our current president. So for that responsibility alone, it's his responsibility to ensure that people who speak up, as enshrined in our constitutions, are protected. And I don't think being online, and I mean, he has repeatedly, stated something about it is possible that a government comes in and you're not very pleased with what the government is doing. It might not be because they're not doing right. It might just be because of misunderstanding, because of miscommunication. And in any case, whatever the reason is, you shouldn't hate your country. You can't insult tradition. You can't curse your nation. When the time is right, there is always the opportunity for you to change government. That's why we have, that organized chaos every 4 years, called election. So it's always an opportunity if you plan on time, and seek God's face, and listen properly, and put in the diligence, put in the work. You are always guaranteed that the nation will end up with the best that we can afford at that particular point in time. That has always been it. So in any case, I mean, without the president, without speaking for the president or anybody, I mean, it's a thing of pride as a Nigerian to tell ourselves as concerned as we are, which is what I've seen in the entire 30 days run challenge that I've seen. I've seen a memo from young Nigerians who care about the nation, and are sending memo to those in charge. And I mean, we're not happy with the way things are. This is how we currently feel, but we want to feel better. They are invested in this, they are connected to this, and that's exactly how the government sees it. So I don't think anyone should be, afraid of any such thing as reprisal or backlash or intimidation from any agency or any part of government. Mr. President and, of course, his government does not believe in such, and that's exactly what's going to be upheld.
Okay, let's go back to Peter in the house. Can we have Peter? Okay, Peter, you just heard what Mr. Aliyu said, and as much as it sounds conciliatory, it still hasn't actually addressed the frustrations that the youth are actually facing. Whether I would like it or not, these frustrations do exist. So if you feel that talking to the government is like falling off, not getting the desired result, if you had 5 minutes with a top government official, for instance, what would you say to them about the struggles that Nigerians are facing?
Thank you very much. Look, without mincing words, let us be very honest. Nigeria is in dire straits. Nigerians are in a battle for survival. And if nothing else tells you the clear picture of what Nigerians are going through, few days ago, the presidential spokesperson or aide, Mr. Bayo Ononuga, put out a statement that the president is on his way to France for a 2-week working visit. And while in France, what the president is trying to do is to get an appraisal of his government and to retreat and reflect on his own reforms. Meaning, after spending money in 2024-2025 budget to renovate the presidential villa, the vice president's home, the president's house in Dodan Barracks in Lagos, and the vice president's home in Dodan Barracks, buying private jets, and in a country of 774 local governments, the commander-in-chief does not have a proper location in Nigeria to reflect. But the president jets out to reflect about his policies from a foreign country. The president wants to reflect about his policies and has yet to make a statement on the 30-day rant challenge of Nigerian youths calling for help, where the cost of living is killing the living. Tomorrow it is Uromi killing. Next tomorrow it is Benue, it is Ondo, it is Plateau. What exactly is going on in Nigeria is an outright lack of accountability. And that is why for this 30 days ranting challenge, it will not just end with ranting, it must be backed up with action. Nigerian youths need a system, an electoral system that can guarantee free, fair, credible, and peaceful elections so that you can be able to elect proper leaders. And that is what my own call to the president is. Thank God his aide said he is a Democrat. The hallmark of every democracy are free and fair elections. The president has to commit to that process in 2027, where people will not be beaten out of polling units like it happened in Lagos in 2023, so that Nigerian youths can begin to live and not just exist or struggle to survive. What exactly is there as an incentive to be Nigerian today? The institutions are almost stacked against you. Law enforcement is almost against you. The judicial system is not where you can go. The market is not what you can even afford. There is just sheer hopelessness across board. And that is what you are seeing us do in these 30 days. And if anybody as a leader is listening, then they should be taking practical steps to resolving these issues, most importantly guaranteeing a free, fair, and peaceful process in 2027, and that is what we must ensure.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Peter. So let's get back to Jalingo in the house. Okay, good to see you.
Thank you.
Now, I wanted to ask, what protections should citizens know they are entitled to under the Nigerian law? And what do international organizations and human rights bodies play in holding the Nigerian government accountable for its responses to public dissent?
Well, thank you so much. First, I should apologize for stepping in a little late.
Better late than never.
Yeah, thank you. So talking about the rights that Nigerians need to know. First of all, I think that Nigerians need to know first that we have a right to rant, and that the freedom of speech is guaranteed under our constitution, and
without fear or intimidation.
Without fear or intimidation. As a matter of fact, I keep referring to what happened in the UK in 2021, that two judges, Justice Welby and Lord Justice Bean, they said that the UK doesn't have a written constitution, so they are run by decisions of parliament and court judgment. They said that if your rights, your freedom of speech is only includes the right to say nice things, then you are not free. The judges said that your freedom of speech includes the right to insult and offend the other person. Because if it is just about saying nice things about you, then I'm not free, as a matter of fact. So, and like the essay was saying to Mr. President, this government has consistently tried to criminalize the right to speak, the freedom of speech in Nigeria. They claim that there's freedom of speech, but consistently they have continued to use the Cybercrime Act to see how they can criminalize our right to speak. I have been a victim. I have been on trial for talking. They have been tried under the Cybercrime Act, and they not long ago the court discharged and acquitted me. So the Nigerians need to know that we have a right to speak, number one. And then this government has, I couldn't have believed that this government will come and criminalize the right to protest. I was the Secretary General of June 12 Coalition, and at a point, the relationship, as a matter of fact, let me say it here, that it is this president that was funding the June 12 Coalition. So we had a relationship, and these are the things that they taught us. We were cadres in the movement. I couldn't have believed that a government led by Tinubu, Dele Alake, Bayo Nanuga, all these names, our comrades, that at some point, we will no longer be allowed to go and carry placards. And this is what they taught us to do. This is what we were going to their houses to collect monies, to come and do placards. They gave us bonfires, they gave us petrol. We were the ones that were hanging out on the streets in the night to burn tires, to make people stay at home. Then suddenly under this government, we don't even have any space to protest again. But Nigerians also need to know, because you asked me about rights, that the right to protest, the right to be out there on the street, the right to rant is our fundamental human right. And let me also add, because almost most Nigerians in the South are Christians, that I want to ask, I don't go to church, but I feel tempted to go into the Bible and talk about it. That in the book of Kings, when David increased taxes for the people, 11 tribes of Israel went to meet him and said, these taxes, this burden is too heavy on us. It was a protest. And the king said, okay, we will do something about it, just like Nigerian leaders will always tell us. Just go and come back. And that same Bible said, the king, Jeroboam, consulted with his younger friends who told him that, don't mind them. And when they came back, he said, my father whipped you with whips. I will whip you with scorpions. I'm not going to listen to you. And that was what led to why the 11 tribes of Israel separated from the other one, and the country became divided. Protest is even biblical. It's not just a constitutional right. It's also a biblical right. You have a right to protest when you are angry. And if your kings will not listen to you, you have a right to overthrow them. So I don't, talking about rights, they know. And then when you talk about the role of the international organizations, I should say that organizations like Amnesty International, Human Rights Watch, and the rest of them have actually been our allies in this struggle. In recent times, in the past 2 years, a number of activists, a number of journalists, a number of social media commentators have been arrested. There is barely any week that passes in Nigeria today that 1 or 2 persons are not arrested, either by the federal government or municipal governments, like the local governments, or state government, somewhere in the country. In fact, as a matter of fact, right now, somebody has been arrested in Bauchi and is going to be charged for talking and all of that. So, but in all of this, Amnesty International, some of these organizations have been able to stand by us, intervening at every point in time to give legal support and all of that, to see how, and then our own organization, the Take It Back movement, Shora is everywhere and all of that, trying to see how, whether he knows you or not, once he hears that you're arrested, people are always there, and these organizations have been giving the support. I also know that in our Take It Back movement, Amnesty International recently supported a program we did by profiling human rights abuses in Nigeria in the past 2 years, and we had to launch that report at a hotel in Ikeja. So some of these organizations too have been playing. I myself, Shore and Mandate were declared prisoners of conscience when we were arrested and locked up. And that also helped to internationalize the campaign. And they have consistently continued to do this for Nigerians that get into this kind of pitfalls. And I think that it has helped to give us some confidence on the field. Okay,
let me get back to you, Deborah, because you are the Sorosoke in all this our gathering. What I want to ask is that, what has given the Sorosoke generation the fearlessness, the courage to come forth? But another question I also want to ask is that, why doesn't it have long-staying power? What is it amongst you would do that does not have longevity to stand the test of time when it comes to your movement?
I'll say stagnancy has given us the ability to speak up. Stagnancy, repetition of the same cycle. I'm 20 and I bought 1 egg, 25 naira. I'm buying 1 egg now, 250 naira. It is the same cycle every single time. We've lived through these things. We have seen it that, okay, this is how this thing always goes. And with the way it's going, it doesn't look like it's going to turn out good for anyone. The energy of the 30 days rant has seriously deteriorated, and it is just sad because Nigerians don't know how to be united. Nigerians know how to remove the relevancy out of a subject and make the irrelevant things become the relevancy. Look at Miss Raye, who spoke up about the whole hardship in the country. We still had fellow Nigerians whom she was fighting for come out to say, no, she's lying. Look at her Instagram pages. She went for outings in December with her friends. If she's suffering, will she be able to go for outings? Is that what should be coming out from the mouth of an average Nigerian? You are the one suffering. Even this person you are accusing of, she's quite financially capable, but she's still coming to speak up. If someone that capable can be crying for help, how much more people who are not even capable the least to survive 3 square meals in a day, how much more those people who can't even send their kids to school? So stagnancy is what has brought out the fear in our generation. We have decided that things cannot stay the same. We will not watch things stay the same. They keep saying we are the leaders of tomorrow. Tomorrow will come and we'll be missing yesterday. We would say, no, yesterday was better. Just last week I bought this thing 500. How is it 5,000 naira today? It cannot continue like this, and this is why we the youths have decided to take it upon ourselves, because we are the ones who will still live to see this country 30, 40 years from now. And even our past heroes, these were the things they fought for that even made things become how it is now. In 1995, for instance, dollar was at 85 naira. $1 was 85 naira. As at 2022, $1 was about 450 naira. It took dollar 27 years to go from 85 naira to 420 naira. Currently, dollar is 1,500 naira. Within 2 years, just 2 years, dollar went from 400 to 1,500. Within the next 2 years, we don't even know what dollar is going to be talking about now. And we might not even survive it. An average Nigerian youth is surviving, not living. We are not going to wait for that.
I wanted to say something about Raye. Yeah. I wanted to correct something. He said Raye is capable. Raye is from my place, from Obudu. I know her. We followed her. Myself and Shore followed her to the NY office in the Tiosa. I know her. I know her dad. She's from my place. She's not capable. She's just a young child who is outspoken. Her father, this country killed her father. Her father was an immigration officer. I wrote about it. He invested his life savings in a palm plantation in Obudu, in his village. The former governor of our state, Governor Ade, said he wanted to do an airport and colonize the land belonging to about 4 villages without compensation. The father came from Calabar, traveled to Obudu, and went to confront the person that was operating the bulldozer to see how he could stop that man from entering his plantation. It wasn't possible. They entered and demolished his life savings in his very before. He collapsed. Wow. And they rushed him from Obudu to the University of Calabar Teaching Hospital in Calabar. That's a journey of 6 hours within the same state. And he got 2 of them actually collapsed. He got there and he died. This country killed her father. And the mother was left alone to cater for them. She was 19 when this happened, 5 years ago. The mother had to take them through school alone. She is not capable. She's just a young, poor child who was angry about what is going on. I needed to correct that. I know her personally.
Somebody have the mind to be defending APC government. What are you even defending there? Because to me, I'm not seeing anything that is worth defending the APC government. You can't say that their policies are good for Nigerians. You can't say that there's one thing they've done for Nigerians. There is nothing they've done, like absolutely nothing they've done for Nigerians. And now somebody is trying to protect APC government, trying to say good things about them, but all of them have the same pattern. They are either stammering, they cannot even say a comprehensive statement that can make sense to us. The man asked a simple question, was not angry. You know, all these people are easily angered because they don't know what to say. They don't know how to answer questions that's asked to them. Just take a look at all of them, from Mokao, from Bayo Ononuga, all of them. They are either stammering or they're not making a comprehensive statement because there's nothing to defend in this government. Truth be told, nothing to be defended in this government. It's not like their policies are good for Nigerians. Nothing. You cannot account for 2 years now. You cannot account for one thing that we can say, okay, this is what the government of Tinubu government have done for Nigerians. This is the good things we've benefited from Nigerians. But P2B, we can list countless things P2B have done for Nigerians, even when he is not the leader of Nigeria. This is what it takes to be a leader. Defending P2B very easy than defending Tinubu. Like I'll keep on saying this. I also guys say my next video. Don't forget to subscribe.